Oh, today is Wednesday, hump day, right? July 23rd, 2025. July 25th is my payday, right? Friday, so super excited about that. I only have to work 3 days. Then I have 2 days to myself. The weekend, I will be staying in Seoul. In case you are wondering who I am a KT employee, right? I'm a KT manager, and I work for Korea Telecom KT, the number one carrier, and also number one cloud service provider and number one AI company in Korea. We are very knowledgeable, and I give free consultation to the corporate customers, especially foreign customers, foreign companies based in Korea, right? And I provide KT mobile service, internet. There are various types of internet, corporate internet exactly, to embassies, the governmental agencies of foreign companies based in Korea. And also I provide cloud, AI, all sorts of security, and even the SaaS, right? SaaS, service as a service, right? And solutions as a service, and all sorts of services to customers. So if you need to come see me, I'm always available, right? My work finishes at 6 or 6:30, depending on my appointment with dinner, and so on. So don't hesitate and ask me, right? Yesterday, I heard that a GitHub Copilot service is now available by KT. We are a strong strategic partner with Microsoft. So we sell Microsoft products and services in Korea and overseas. And GitHub Copilot is also part of that offerings. So let's learn more about GitHub. This article is from digital.gov, so governmental website. An introduction to GitHub. How to use GitHub to create, manage, and publish website content. Note, in this first training video, content strategy and design specialist for GSA's Technology Transformation Services, TTS, Malaika Carpenter breaks down how to use GitHub into easy, practical steps and demonstrates ways to use this tool to create, manage, and publish website content. Okay, so we have a YouTube link down there, right? A window, you can just tap on it or click on it and check out the content. What is GitHub? GitHub is a web-based interface that uses Git, the open source version control software that lets multiple people make separate changes to web pages at the same time. As Carpenter notes, because it allows for real-time collaboration, GitHub encourages teams to work together to build and edit their site content. How can GitHub help my team and me? GitHub allows multiple developers to work on a single project at the same time, reduces the risk of duplicative or conflicting work. That's good, right? Duplicative. Reduces the risk of duplicative and conflicting work and can help decrease production time. With GitHub, developers can build code, track changes, and innovate solutions to problems that might arise during the site development process simultaneously. Non-developers can also use it to create, edit, and update website content which Carpenter demonstrates in her tutorial. So it's she, right? How do I speak GitHub? There are some common terms teams will need to understand when using GitHub. They are Git, a tool that allows developers and others to use version control, right? Versioning history, version control, version, right? Not version, version control, versioning, right? GitHub, one of many web interfaces for using Git. Organization, org, a grouping mechanism allowing teams to collaborate across many projects at once. Grouping mechanism, organization, org, repository, repo. Well, repo means repossession, right? When your car is repoed, then the government authority pulled your car to their storage because you didn't pay tax, right? Repo, repository, a folder in which all files and their version histories are stored. Branch, a version of the repo that, that allows work without affecting their branches, affecting other branches. Repos may have many branches for different possible changes being tested or considered, along with a different default branch that serves as the source of truth. Truth Social, right? The Trump has a Truth Social branch, a version of the repo that allows work without affecting other branches. Repos may have many branches for different possible changes being tested or considered, along with a default branch that serves as the source of truth. Fork, a new repository that inherits from a parent upstream repo. It is used to suggest changes to an upstream public repo by someone who doesn't have access to edit in the repo's home org. Fork, a new repository that inherits from a parent upstream repo. It is used to suggest changes to an upstream public repo by someone who doesn't have access to edit in the repo's home org. Fork, Markdown.md, a way to write content that converts plain text to formatted text. Markdown, markup, right? Markup language. Markdown, a way to write content that converts plain text to formatted text. Markdown. Commit changes, a saved record of a change made to a file within the repo. Commit changes, a saved record of a change made to a file within the repo. Pull request, PR, a request for changes made to a branch to be pulled into another branch. Allows multiple users to see, discuss, and review work being suggested. Pull request, PR, a request for changes made to a branch to be pulled into another branch. Pull request allows multiple users to see, discuss, and review work being suggested. Merge, after a pull request, PR, is approved, the commit will be pulled in or merged from one branch to another and then deployed on the live site. Issues, allow users to report issues or bugs and track progress of assigning the fix for the issues. Cloud.gov pages, formerly Federalist, a platform that securely deploys a website from a GitHub repository in minutes and lets users preview proposed and published changes, wow, in minutes. Projects allows you to use GitHub for project management and tracking a set of issues, either for a specific repo or an entire org. Wiki, a section of repo made for hosting documentation. Documentation may be in the repo's README files instead. Not coding, right? It's a documentation. A wiki, a section of a repo, is part of a repo, right? Made for hosting documentation. Documentation may be in the repo's README files instead, README or wiki. Becoming fluent in GitHub terminology might seem intimidating at first, but the more team members engage with the platform, the easier it is to understand the ins and outs of GitHub, right? That's good expression. Ease of use. Easier it is to understand the ins and outs of GitHub. The easier it is to understand the ins and outs of GitHub. So I'll just move on, right? How do I use GitHub? Note, this second tutorial and live demonstration covers a variety of Git-related concepts so that you can have confidence using GitHub in the future. You can also download the slides that are found in this presentation, PPTX, Introduction to GitHub Net. In the demonstrations on this page, both presenters show how files are changed and merged in GitHub. This can be done by any member on the team, developers and non-developers, that has access to a GitHub repository. The following is a step-by-step method in which GitHub users can develop their websites. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step 1. Team members will open an issue via a project board. Step 2. Team members will create a new branch from the most recent version of the main branch in the repository, where the entire team works to avoid conflicts, right? Duplicative and disruptive, right? To avoid the risk of duplicative or conflicting work. Step 3. Team members will add commits, edits, or changes to their respective branches. Step 4. Team members will open a pull request in which users can assign other team members to review content changes and internally discuss the details of the commits. Pull request, right? Short branch, I think. Team members will open a pull request in which users can assign other team members to review content changes and internally discuss the details of the commits. Step 5. After waiting for the Federalist build to complete, team members can preview the changes on the test version of the website and request reviewers to approve or comment on the change. Once the reviewers approve the pull request, the commits merge into the main branch and are published on the live site. Step 5, right? What else do I need to know about GitHub? When starting a project using issues and project boards, write your content on external word processors or via Google Docs, and then save these files to their respective project boards. Let me go over this one more time. When starting a project using issues and project boards, write your content on external word processors or via Google Docs, and then save these files to their respective project boards. These steps allow developers and content creators to have a master copy of the files, thus helping them track changes over the course of a project. Over course of a project. That's another good expression, right? Over the course of a new project. In addition, developers should consider downloading GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop allows users to do everything that could be done on GitHub's web interface, but locally on a user's machine. GitHub Desktop. Right, web interface, you can do the job over on the GitHub's web interface, but you can also have GitHub Desktop. GitHub is built to be a collaborative interface by allowing multiple users to work on the same project simultaneously and requiring cross-team approval for pull requests. Right? This one, cross-team approval for pull requests. Requiring cross-team approval for pull requests. Requiring cross-team approval for pull requests. GitHub not only allows for, but encourages collaboration within design teams. This type of collaboration can help produce a higher level of quality control. Additional resources: Intro to GitHub TTS Handbook, a guide on how to use GitHub from understanding basic level terminology to understanding more complicated concepts. Simple Guide to GitHub for Non-Developers, a resource that explains the basics of GitHub language. Getting started with GitHub Desktop, a guide to help GitHub Desktop users understand how to work from a local computer. Markdown Cheat Sheet is a tool to help users transcribe plain text language into GitHub code. Markdown Cheat Sheet, right? Not markup, Markdown. Was this page helpful? Yeah, a little bit, because I'm not an expert on coding. I just learned Fortran and C and C++ language and HTML. I don't have any knowledge about PHP, Java, Python, and other languages. So sorry about that. So this article was written by GSA, right? That's like a 안전부 in Korea, right? The basic pillar of the government, GSA. Well, thanks for listening, but I would like to go over what I just marked down to remember. Over the course of a project, right? Over the course of project, requiring cross-team approval for pull requests. Over the course of a project, the easier it is to understand the ins and outs of GitHub. I'm an expert about the ins and outs of KT because I have been with KT for 30 years and 4 months, close to 5 months, right? I'm an expert. I understand the ins and outs of KT. Version control, right? Version control. Version histories reduces the risk of duplicative or conflicting work. That's me, right? I was holding this paper to read about MS 900 prep examinations, right? So reduces the risk of duplicative or conflicting work, version control. The easier it is to understand the ins and outs of GitHub over the course of a project, requiring cross-team approval for pull requests. Thanks for listening. Have a great hump day. Well, what is another word for hump day, right? Wednesday, hump day, midday, right? Midday is different, like a central day maybe. Or difficult day or excruciatingly painful day, whatever it is, have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye-bye. What the? Right? Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.